boys round here don't listen to the Beatles run. Old Bo Cephas threw a jukebox needle at the honky-tonk where they boot stomp all night. What? Yeah, and what they call work a digging in the dirt. Gotta get it in the ground before the rain come down to get paid, to get the girl and your four-wheel drive. Yeah, the boys round here drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back, shoot her back, shoot her back a spit. Oh, heck. Well, the boys around here, they're keeping it country. Ain't a damn one know how to do the Dougie. No, I'm not in Kentucky, but these girls around here, yep, they still love me. Yeah, the girls around here, they all deserve a whistle. Shaking that sugar sweet as Dixie Crystal. They like that yawling southern drawl and just can't help it 'cause they just keep falling for the boys around here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back and shoot her back and shoot her back a spit.
Let's ride through the countryside. Let's ride down to the riverside.
Hey now girl, hop inside. Me and you gonna take a little ride to the river. Let's ride. Let's ride. Lay a blanket on the ground. Kissing in the crickets is the only sound. We out of town. Have you ever got down with a do you wanna get down with a girl, you gotta get down with the boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here, sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back and shoot her back and shoot her back. I'm one of them boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here, sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back and shoot her back and shoot her back a spit.
How. Welcome to the WINGIT call, November 18th, 2016. Yep, we're still there. Take a knee, please. Dear Lord, thank you for all you have provided. Your guidance is much appreciated, whether we hear you or not. But you do guide our lives, and yes, we do have free will and free choice, and I ask that you guide mine. My will is your will. Please protect my brothers and sisters. Give them the same guidance that you've given me over the years. Carried me while I stumbled badly, and still love me for who I am. And I ask this in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Oh, let's see. Oh, disclaimer. We're not attorneys, financial advisors, CPAs, and none of this is to be considered any legal advice at all. This is for our information only, of our own opinion, and for the rest of the disclaimer, please go to the wingitcall.com. There's a disclaimer tab. Click on that, and you'll have the rest of the disclaimer. Just a smidgen of housekeeping, nothing major. seems after my prayer on my last call about 2x4, I got a few emails and by saying, please be careful for what you wish for, and change starts on the inside. And I had to reply, well, if you listen to the whole thing and not take any phrase or word out of context, you'll understand the 2x4 is for me, because sometimes I'm a little dense and don't always hear exactly what you wish. Kind of got thrown underneath the bus for that. But hey, I'm not a minister. I just pray from the heart. I do the best that I can. Also, yes, I am controversial. I do my best not to do my political views, but I think that with our current election, at least we might have a chance before we go down the toilet with a left-hand swirl. It might have a chance to actually do good with what the blessing that is being brought down. So if that's, yes, I'm controversial. Lost a couple hundred people on my Twitter page, but from my views, gained back that 200 plus another 200. So I'm at 5,200 people. So I guess I'm not doing too bad there about being too controversial. My apologies if I am. I speak from the heart. If I offend you with my viewpoints, my apologies. It is what it is. That being said, Artmeister, what wisdom and guidance can you give us today?
Well, I can say it's a beautiful day here in Tennessee. We're going to get a cold front come through and change things tremendously. It's going to be awful cold over the weekend. So I'd say wintertime is trying to make its appearance. And I'll say hello to everybody out there in currency land. And not too much today, but I did get an email that's interesting here. I'll just read a paragraph because it's too long. You can go to, anyway, you can probably go to Dinar Chronicles and find it. It's from Erasmus of America. And said, regarding the NDA illegal as per the law of the land and the delayed RV for the American people who plan to boom American economy instead of collapsing. And it says the report on the results from releasing this listed report yesterday, November 17th, from Erasmus of America. The report was regarding the NDA, and in parentheses they have illegal as per the law of the land, end of parentheses, and the delayed RV for the American people. And then it goes on to say this morning it was posted, apparently changed standards from Wells Fargo. So it will not try to high pressure you to sign an NDA or else not be able to exchange your currencies, including ZIMs. You can get market rate on currency to be exchanged and no hard pressure to sign NDA to exchange your currencies, including the ZIM. They will respect your reasons for refusing to sign the NDA, including legal and religious. This is the first time that they have said this, as reported by a source reporting what they said. I use some legal tactics sometimes in legal maneuvers. General Joseph Dunford was listed as General John Dunford in some copies of that report that was sent out yesterday, and in some copies, General Joseph Dunford. So if I got a notice back from this office that his first name had been incorrectly stated, that simply constituted legal proof that he had received this legal report by sending it back an email correction to me. That would give me the email address to tell you to send copies of this report to him. So basically you can go to, I'm sure it must be posted, I didn't check on Dinar Chronicles. It's a very long report. Erasmus does a pretty thorough job of researching and finding things about things. So that sounds pretty good if they're going to lighten up on that NDA for those who refuse to sign one or won't sign one. But, on a call the other night, they were talking about the high rates on the ZIM, and somebody asked Joseph, well, what is the street rate? What is whatever you want to call it, the international rate? He said, I think it's about 33 cents, 35 cents. If you stop and think about that, and no zeros taken off. So if they don't take zeros off, a 100 trillion note My lordy, that's still worth 35 trillion, let's say. How much money does one need to do even to do projects? And you may be able to take that rate, not sign an NDA, and if, it depends how many 100 trillion notes you have. Lordy, even a 50 billion note, I mean, God, it's more money than anybody knows what to do with. So forget the $50,000. I mean, as we said, nobody's probably going to get that unless they have some super duper 100-year program, major program, and I don't think too many are going to do that. So I wouldn't worry too much about just taking a street rate and going with that if you want to. I intend to check into it. You don't have to sign an NDA, especially, and still give me lots of money to do what my wife and I want to do, and to help a lot of people and do a lot of our what I call humanitarian projects, just locally and in the state, and helping a lot of people and whatever, you know. So anyway, I just thought I'd read that since I just got that. I think that's very interesting. And other than that, I'm just not much news out there. Every day we hear it's going to happen today, and we heard it's going to happen today. So today's not over. So let's hope it does. And one little quote they had here in a little box, it said, all tyranny needs to gain a foothold is for people who have good conscience to remain silent. Edmund Burke said that. With that, Jerry, I'll turn it back over to you.
Well, Art, if you'll just mute out, please.
I sure will.
I got an interesting email. Rather, it's kind of long, but I'm just going to give you a few highlights. Do you know someone suffering from TARD, T-A-R-D, from Trump Acceptance Resistant Disorder? I kind of got a kick out of it. The very first paragraph says, Trump Acceptance Resistant Disorder is a pattern of pathological, dissociative, and psychotic behavior first observed in the late hours of November 8, 2016, and increasing in severity with passing time. Sufferers from TARD often exhibit pronounced cognitive dissonance, sudden bouts of rage, uncontrollable crying, suicidal identitation, and extreme butt hurt. Extreme butt hurt. There's many paragraphs, but I thought the first one was pretty appropriate. And let me see. There was one more paragraph. I'm killing a little time because an individual wants to share some stuff and they're not quite ready yet. That's not it. Go up here a little bit higher. Oh, come on. Where's the paragraph that was so interesting? No. Okay. Diagnosis of TARD. Diagnosis is straightforward, asking the patient if Donald Trump is going to be the next president of the United States of America. Some patients will become agitated and may attempt to deflect. It's critical you press them on the issue, even if they start babbling. A sufferer of TARD will begin to ramble incoherently, often displaying 3 or more of the symptoms within a short period of time. I'm not going to read those. They're quite funny. But in the very end, there is a picture, and a lot of people won't realize who this person is. Just Google him. Sam Elliott, holding on to a saddle, wearing a cowboy hat, and as always, his unique mustache. And the caption on this reads, the fact that there are riots in the streets because Donald Trump was elected president is the reason why he was elected. We the people have had enough of this poo-poo. There's another word on the end that starts with an S, but I'm trying to be non-controversial. So, the person has raised their hand. Auburn, you've got a little bit to share with us. Come on down.
It
Oh,
sounds
by the
like
way,
you.
star two to raise your hand if you want to ask a question.
I don't know if I can top that. Anyway, hey Jerry, do you want to hear my theory?
Sure.
Okay. So, in the last few days, I was told from boots on the ground. Can I give the rate? Is it okay?
Sure. Now I want to say this. I'm not about dates and rates.
Right.
This is your contact that you have over boots on the ground that's relaying to you what they know to you.
Right.
Okay.
So I just want to kind of keep everybody alert because the rate I'm hearing is $1.13. It is not showing, on the CBI website or anything yet. If we go back and we think about everything that we've learned, just remember Iraq was told that they would get a 24 to 48 hour start. So maybe the next time the CBI reports, we will see the $1.13, but hopefully we will have an RV. They are on an EID holiday right now, and which ends on their Sunday, which makes it our Saturday. So that could make it for a very interesting weekend. And I'm just wanting to put everybody on alert because I do some very thorough research, and I really do have boots on the ground over there. So that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. And watch the market. The market should be crashing. So that's about it. But that's pretty exciting. That's better news than I've heard in a while. And international law is stating that the $1.13, once it goes overseas, like say we have dinar, we're going to take that $1.13 and we can times it by 6. 6 is the highest number that they can actually, how would you say it?
Increase the value.
Right. So we're looking at probably 678. So I'm hoping that we got some good info here. So anyway, there is supposed to be an announcement after the EID holiday, and we are hoping that it is the 3 zeros off. So, keep your eye out for that. I will know as soon as that happens, and I will let Jerry know so he can send out a tweet. So if I say anything, it's been a pleasure coming on here, and good luck to all of you. So thanks, Jerry.
Thanks. And and I just remembered I have something else to share. Soil Dude called to tell me that they have received in full their very first payment for the product that they have shipped out. And that was for over $10,000. Now, there's more, but I was not authorized to speak on the rest of it, but I just want to let you to know. That means that money is moving. They got paid for their very first order that was placed, and it was over $10,000. This is good. I was told how much the next order is for, and it's for a lot more than that. And they were told that their payment would be soon. I have a date, but I can't give that. I wasn't authorized. But I'm telling you, it's soon. Star 2 to raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Wingman, I see you hiding there in the weed. What's going on?
Well, I feel the need to respond to the opening comments. So,
wait! Before you say anything,
yeah.
I've also been accused of not giving ample rebuttal. And I said, well, obviously you haven't been listening to the calls very long because people have chimed in and, like you're going to do, have given their viewpoints, and I don't cut them off.
Right. Right.
So, all right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so let's do the math on what Art shared. There are approximately 5,000 to 6,000 Zim holders at the moment. People with 100 T notes. Of that 5,000 to 6,000, there are people out there who have 1,000 100 T notes. There are other people out there who have hundreds of T notes, and it is not uncommon for a great many people to have anywhere from 10 to 20 100 T notes. So let's take, just round it out. Let's just take 50 cents because it's easy to do the math, okay? And not take any zeros off. So that means your 100 T note is worth $50 trillion. That's 100 T note, okay? So, and let's just say we average it out, everybody has 5 T notes, just for argument's sake. So that means that 5 times 5
is 250
5
trillion.
times, yeah, thank you very much. 250 trillion. So there are 5,000 people on the planet, guys, that have $250 trillion. You think that's a fact? You think that's for real? You think the planet can absorb that kind of of influx of cash and unbalance of financial powers? Give me a freaking break. That's my first comment. My second comment is what annoys me about all of the Trump supporters is how it all sounds like shit we used to make up on the playground when we were in 7th grade, like this whole TARD thing. I mean, where's the maturity? Where's the actual thinking behind what they're putting out? I like a lot of Trump's ideas. I also dislike a lot of Trump's ideas. But, we got to get mature about the conversation. We got to stop treating this like it's a comic book. It's not. It's the entire planet at stake. And people better get on board and realize it, which leads me to my topic for the day. And that is, I know a lot of folks on here have been in this for a long time. And I know a lot of you recall Tony saying, wait till this thing finally happens. And wait to see what happens with all these groups that are out there. And wait to see the chaos caused by people who did not put groups together in a proper manner. And this week we had a very real occurrence with some supposedly ironclad super groups. Turned out they weren't so super, and they weren't so ironclad. And a lot of people are back out on the street at square one, especially with their Zim. And a lot of people that we all know and respect are freaking out. And it's caused them to do a lot of things that were ill-advised. And my point in all this is that I still think this, and I believe it with all my soul, that very few people understand how much money they are about to receive and how to manage that money and how to be with that kind of wealth. Because it's not real to people yet. I mean, I can't blame them. I mean, they want to believe it. They want to see it. They've got plans, etc. But managing that kind of wealth is beyond anybody's experience, including super wealthy people who have the money now, who are outside of DNR land. It is a whole new world, guys. And if you let your fears get the best of you early on, you will A, lose your money, B, hurt a lot of other people, and C, lose a lot of friends. And you're going to need friends. So if you're paranoid and you want to play both sides of the fence, and see who gets you the better deal, that's in the business world, that's the quickest way to fail. You have got to be loyal. You have got to have integrity. And you've got to stay the course. You can't be a feather in the wind, especially talking this kind of money. And you wait and see how this money changes everything around you, changes relationships you had all your life, changes your family dynamics, changes you in the way you relate to other people. All of this is coming. It's coming fast and furious, and you need to start thinking about it, and you need to start getting real about it. And you need to ask for help, because you're not going to be able to manage these funds all by yourself. And if you get these funds and you do not redistribute them to the humanitarian effort, they will be taken away from you. Whether you want to say it's God taking it away from you, or whether you want to say it's society or whoever, the money will not stay in your control and you will lose it if you are not first and foremost a supporter of the humanitarian efforts that this planet needs. And that means no bias on religion, no bias on skin color, no bias on politics, no bias anywhere. The whole idea is to help people, period. And it's the simplest test of the truth. You're either helping people or you're not. If you're in it for yourself, you're going to lose this money, because the planet won't tolerate this anymore. Okay. I'm dismantling my soapbox. Thank you for listening.
Did you put a couple screws in it to hold it tight while you were talking?
Yeah, but the wood's so rotten now. It's like, why bother?
And there you go.
Couple of what do they call them? The ratchet straps from Home Depot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'll take care of it for now. I'm not gonna need a soapbox in a little while. So I just thought I'd take that opportunity.
A couple calls back, I've referred to spending money like a drunken sailor. That'll put money back in the economy. I mean, you're going to have so much, and the interest that you'll be receiving, you could spend $10 million a day and never see the bottom of the barrel. But after a while, like anything else, it gets to be old. I've got to spend $10 million today. There was a movie by Richard Pryor where he had to spend like $1 million a day for X amount of days to get this inheritance, which was 10 times what he had to spend. And after 30 days, he was going, what do I buy? I've got everything already. And he couldn't just go out and hand it out. He actually had to, buy things with it. And the thing is, if you go out spending money like a drunken sailor and just take $100 bills and go out there and throw it in the wind, yes, it's going to help people, but only for the short term. We're here for the long term. I mean, hell, I'm sorry. Darn it. Had a discussion with my team, and we're talking about buying many different things, high-end luxury items. That's what people would consider it, to the tune of millions of dollars. So you can think about that. What is high-end luxury items? Huge brain. And I came up with a figure. And if these numbers are even close to what we're thinking about, I'll be able to afford that plus the luxury tax. But it's not going to be used for just my benefit. I'm thinking about, if I'm not using it, how can it be beneficial to humanity? We hear all the time, hey, like, for example, Jerry Jones heard about something the other day. He sent his personal plane out there to take him from point A to point B. thank you very much. It's a total write-off. It makes him look good, but that's how I'm thinking about these luxury items that I'm thinking about purchasing. What else can I do with them that will benefit when I'm not using them? Okay, enough babbling. Short call. Got 2 people with their hands raised. North Bend, Washington. I bet this is that lady that loves me so much.
And you're right. I do. I love you with all my heart, and I pray for you.
You know what?
There.
Thank you. Can you get a prayer group? Because I need a few more.
Okay. Well, we'll fix you up, Jerry.
All right. Yes, ma'am. What can I do for you today?
Your wingman, Iko,
yes,
kind of touched on it a little bit, and he indicated that there would be no bias with regard to race, religion, so forth and so on. And one of the things that I have been more than a little concerned about with regard to the project that I have already got paperwork from, I've gone to the powers that be and had them do up a project for building a school from kindergarten through high school, and so then I've begun to think maybe even building a small college or university. My question.
Can you put that next to the WINGIT University that's going to be right next to the Church of the Blue Moon?
You betcha. Anyway, my question is that this is a Christian school, so if I go in and I say I want to spend all this money on, first of all, doing our nucleus, our basic school in this community, when it's completed and we have a roadmap, as it were, then I want to go to this other community and do the same thing, and then do multiplicities of this across the state and across the nation, if that's what God wants me to do. Anyway, so if I go in there with a story like that, are they going to say, "Oh God, here comes a Christian, and she's going to really put all that money in one spot"? What is the likelihood that they would not do that? They would not give me the benefit of the doubt or the best break. And I know that I'm asking kind of a shot in the dark question, but I am.
Yeah, no, actually, it's not a shot in the dark question.
Thank you. Take over, wingman.
Yes. Look, we are allowed with our money, okay, our personal fortunes, to do whatever we want and support whoever we want. Okay? But if you're asking for money from the humanitarian side of the GCR, if you want to use humanitarian funds, which is the bulk of the funds, to do secular projects, they don't want that. This is about bringing the planet together, not any single philosophy. Okay?
So if I have another project with wounded warriors and that sort of thing, that's a humanity.
Wounded warriors is non-secular.
Okay. But the school would be secular. Okay, that helps me a lot.
School would be secular. So again, put together a group of like-minded people and build your schools. You know, you're certainly free to do that, especially in America. Maybe not all over the planet yet, but you know, if you want to do that, that's great. That's your decision. Okay, and you're right.
After this goes down, I'm still going to be looking at the WINGIT email. So send me an email, and we'll get together. How's that?
That sounds great, because yeah, the meat and potatoes of my question is how do I present myself or my plan so that I can get the greatest amount of money to fulfill this plan?
You have to tell the truth.
Yeah, you're and plus getting some guidance through professionals.
Okay, All right, I will send you an email. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Iko.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, no, after this is over, after we've all been to the bank and we've taken a little time, send me an email, and then we'll find a time to get together, okay?
Okay, super. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Sauce Dude. Come on and
Hey,
turn
guys.
your speakers down. Got feedback there, Sauce Dude.
Is that all right?
Yep, that's
Is
better.
that better? Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good.
I just wanted to comment a little bit about Iko's comment on the astronomical numbers, and it just makes sense, guys, that we can't have that much money. I mean, it would be nice, but in what world? I don't really have many comments except I wish the heck this would get going so I could retire from my back-breaking job and just make a lot.
By the way, did the email? Are you getting people emailing you for sauce?
No, I only got 4 comments, 4 people that was inquiring about it, and that's fine. I mean, I make enough around locally that I figure I've made over 700 quarts since May, just locally here in Colorado. So I mean, but if anybody wants any, I'd be happy to send them a sample, and I'll be making sauce tomorrow. So I just do it I make some money on it, but I do it for pleasure too. I like to see a smile on somebody's face when they use it and tell me it's the best in the world. I love that.
Absolutely, and if you want to contact him on the wingitcall.com, on the home page, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see a light green box that has his email address in it. You have to copy and paste it in an email because, no, I didn't send up where you just click it and it sends an email.
Yeah.
So there you go. And it says Sauce Dude's email.
Yeah. Anyway,
all right.
Any idea about any projections about how much longer we're going to be waiting?
Not even going to go there.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, I'll keep up the call. I love it. I listen all the time, but I don't always get my hand up.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Later.
Bye. Twin Cities. 651.
Hi, Jerry. Is it coming through? Hi.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see Art's up and around today and giving his opinions and everything. I had one other thing to say, but I'm going to wait with that. I want to throw a little bit of cold water on the school lady. I love her idea and everything else. We've been around a lot of Christian schools that are run in churches, and almost every one of them has failed. People are getting laid off. They don't have jobs. They don't have money to pay these things. And, all the beautiful facilities in these things, and they're closed. They're gone. The kids are back in public school. So I would suggest to her to figure out a way, if she's going to do this, which would be great, to have some other way of funding the costs of the schools, and then she'll fly like a kite. Does that sound logical? Okay.
Yep.
And then the other thing I was going to say, on iqdcalls.com, where you're listed, and we always look at it, go to Wednesday's square there and scroll down to the very bottom of Wednesday's square. It says, massive fraud, 8,000 tons of paper gold dumped on the market, and then there's a little line that says video. Would everybody please click on that video and look at it. It tells you the future like they had a crystal ball. And I think your buddy had some input in it, but I won't say that. But it's really, 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 see where we're going, So
thank you, sir. And that's iqdcalls.com?
Yeah, I think it's just iqd.com, I think is the way it's listed. But anyway, it's where your calls are always listed and everybody else's. And it's really a good site. IQD does such a great job.
It's iqdcalls.com.
That's okay. That's a thing. Okay, but it's it was really something. I always look and see if there's something on there, and then I saw that and I went, wow, everybody's got to see this. My good gracious! And they talk about our new president and the economy and other things, and so it's great. Click on it, guys. Listen to it, please.
Where is it again? Is it underneath the Wednesday call?
Yes, very bottom of the Wednesday call. You got to really scroll down because it's a big box.
Video master. Oh yes, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
yep,
click
there
on
it is. All right.
Click on the video and watch her out. Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Cleveland, Tennessee, 423.
Yeah, good afternoon. I had a
Howdy.
couple of comments to make here. Yeah, I'm not in the belief that even though I'm going to be doing some humanitarian type work, that if a person doesn't do it, they'll take your money away. I mean, that is a stack there. And you can flat scare some people over that, which you might be trying to do, so they will do some humanitarian work. But, and another thing I've heard it mentioned in here, that if they go in the bank and you have papers or ideas or what you're going to do, the humanitarian work that you want to do, you show it to the banker and he's going to give you a higher rate. That's a stack of wad of whoever too. He's interested into getting that money in there and getting it in at a good rate. Your job should be is try to get the best interest you can off of that and get it parked right so nobody's going to mess with it.
Absolutely.
And as far as the Trump thing goes, I agree. There is a lot of childish things going on there, and give the guy a chance. Like he does have a lot of good ideas, and he's finding out some of the ideas that he's had aren't quite as easy to fix as what he thinks. And he's getting people ready to...
There's a lot of entrenched politics that's not going to just change overnight. A lot of deals that have been made.
That's
lot of
correct.
hurt feelings, and that plays a lot of it too.
That's correct. That's one of the things. Well, that's why I was saying it's not as easy as what he's going to think. I didn't want to stretch it out, but
Sure.
Yes, this is. It's going to be a simple thing. Just go in and get your money settled down, and if you haven't got a trust to put it in, just back out. Think about what you're going to do. And get yourself a trust and everything set up, and go in and set it up right, and just give it a few months to relax. I'm going to wait at least 6 months before I do anything at all. And I've had money before. I haven't had billions like would be possibly turned out today. I do agree that if they're going to give 30, 40, 50 cents for Zim, that is a little outrageous. Even taking 6 zeros off, that's a lot of money, for the millions. People's out there, they bought 500 million bills, and that's a lot. 500 million, and people's got hundreds and hundreds of them.
Exactly. Now you're getting the picture.
Yeah, I mean it can't be. No, I've had the picture. I just couldn't believe people thinking that they're going to get all this big money like that. Let them think it. That's okay. Okay, well, we'll get out of your way now, and thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Bye.
So let's just think about if they're not taking any zeros off, and a penny is $1 trillion. Let's think about if you go in there and they lop 6 zeros off. We've heard they've done that. There's a great possibility. So this is thinking outside the box. Let's wrap our brain around it and be flexible, like I've said. So you've done your math. You got your little piece of paper, your chart. When you go in there, you pull it out and you start negotiating. And you're talking back and forth. Be pleasant. Smile. If you have to, then you take the smile off your face and you get kind of stern and you say, "Sir, this is business, and I may not like that rate." And you talk back and forth, but there's no need to raise your voice because you need to act like a multimillionaire billionaire. And get your paper set up for if they take 6 zeros off. Get your little chart down there and get it ready. All right, so here we go. Rodeo Drive. How are you doing today?
Hey, I just want to tell you, thank you so much for such an outpour of support that your listeners have given me. I have found a hospital, and I'm trying to raise funds for it right now. And I just listen to your calls for inspiration, and I want to thank you so very, very much.
You're absolutely welcome. Glad that I was able to get you in touch with some people that you could actually talk to and some information that I sent to your email. I'm glad it worked out for you because I was hoping.
And it worked. It's just a matter of getting it, and it's fantastic. I feel like I'm going to live.
Absolutely. You've got to come. You got a few things to do. All right, ma'am. Thank you.
I do indeed. I love you all, and God bless you.
We love you too. Bye.
Goodbye.
North End.
Hi there. I hope
thing?
it's out of line, but I'd sure like to donate something for this lady.
Okay. I don't know how to get it to her. She will have to Rodeo Drive.
Yes.
No, not you. Rodeo Drive. If you will send me an email. I know I get a lot of them, and I didn't tag it. And if the lady wants to donate, we'll figure out a way to get it to you, usually through Walmart, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. So I guess that's it for the day, Aiko. No more hands were raised. I like short calls. How about you? Short, sweet, to the point?
I actually want to hear more from people, but that's just me.
Hold on. Rodeo Drive. Yes, ma'am. Oop, she hung herself up. You're there. Go ahead.
Sometimes I'm a little, it's a little confusing because I've been so sick. But thank you very much, and I will email you the information.
Very good. Thank you.
Love you.
All right. Bye. Orlando, 407. Come on down.
How you doing today, Jerry and Echo and Art? Just a couple of comments about today. Like I said, I've been in this thing since 2003, and like I told you on your call on Tuesday, things are ratcheting up so fast and so quick that we've never heard this much flow of information ever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're hearing it from this side to that side to the other, so we know something's coming. You smell it in the air. You can feel it each time you wake up, and each day passes and each evening passes. It's just, I just wonder how we're going to feel when this ride is actually over. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like an everyday thing. Exactly.
We're going to be confused.
Exactly. It's going to be, you know, I really feel like Iko said earlier, if you're not ready for this, you better get ready now, because it's going to be a whirlwind. You think this is the calm before the storm. This is like the eye of the hurricane. We've already went through all the BS before, then now we're in the calm, and the calm, it ain't going to be calm too much more, because you're going to have to get your plans together, figure out what you want to do for humanity. I mean, I just want to do a cattle farm. Organic, 100% pure organic beef. If you don't have the money to do it, order the cow. And you
spoke to Soil Dude, so life is good.
Sure. Absolutely. You know,
all right.
Those are the type of things that we all need to be ready for, because when it comes, it's going to come like yeah, holy cow. It's about time, and then you ain't going to know what to do. Like you said, you're going to have to take some time off to understand what you have. You can't just go and you're just going to have to sit back and relax once you go in. 14-day vacation for me, sir. You have a great day, sir.
All right. Houston, 832. Come on down.
Hi there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hi. I have a question that maybe a few other people, it would apply to a few other people, but I've not heard it asked of anyone. You know, I've heard that we can only go in once for our exchange, which is just fine. But, for example, in my case, I'm handicapped, and I've got someone who's going to help me go in. And he also has currency and will be exchanging later himself through a private exchange, but he can only go in once. When you go
now
in,
hold on. I think he can help you in the door. It's from what you're saying, you're only going to get one opportunity to exchange. If he's assisting you, that's totally different than doing an exchange. So I'm pretty sure he's going to be okay.
All right. Well, I mean, when they check his ID at the door, because they're not going to let him in without checking his ID, that doesn't put him on a list of he's all done, correct?
Well, we don't know. We don't know the rules yet, and they're not going to let us know the rules. But you can ask that and just say, look, I'm helping her out, but I've got to go in and do my exchange later on, and they should be very accommodating. They don't want to lose out on and having money on their bottom line.
Okay, good. Then the reverse of that would be later on, I want to go in and help my son who has not been a part of all this. And he doesn't, I mean, it's going to hit him. I gave him 100 TZM for Christmas a couple of years ago. And he has no clue.
Right, you're going to be okay.
Okay, good. All right, good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Gosh darn it, Iko. Nobody wants to ask questions.
Huh.
Today's the day.
Oh,
yeah. Well, let me say this. Once you go into exchange and you come back out, what's the first thing you're going to do besides change your dependent?
Laugh hysterically?
Yeah. I'm sure there's going to be a medical team probably in the parking lot station because there'll be people hyperventilating, but that's not what I'm asking. What are you going to do after the initial shock has set in and subsided and you've recovered? Well, I'm starting to gather my team. I have a single phone number to start with, and that will start the whole process of what needs to be done. That's just the legal team, or the person that's going to take care of my security, my cybersecurity, my legal team, my financial advisors. I found a group that will take care of all that for me. And I've done a lot of vetting, and I'm happy with them. One phone call for me does it. Now, do I make that call before I go in? Well, I need to know how much I'm going to be blessed with. Second, who do I start spending money with? While you're in there, you can ask for cashier's checks. I don't know how much you can ask for on an amount, because these people need to be paid. I've got a list probably of a dozen cashier's checks that range anywhere from $10,000 to $500,000 that I need before I walk out of there, because people need to be paid for their services. You got the money. Don't be stingy. Don't act like you've only got enough money and you're looking in your change box to get $2 for a Happy Meal. You're going to have money. Think appropriately. Here we go. Grand Prairie, 214. Come on down.
Jerry, it's funny. You ain't got nobody
Howdy.
to talk to, so I call in, and it says the lines are maxed.
Yep, they are.
Well, I don't know what to ask. We've been running this thing so long, I'm running out of questions.
Well, I tell you what, hang right there. Looks like I've seen your number before, but it looks like I might have another first-time caller here. Let me go take that, okay?
Throw them on there.
All right. Leesburg, Florida, 352. Come on down.
Hi, I have a question that I haven't heard anyone ask before. My question
I love
is...
those questions.
Okay, you mentioned the first thing to do after you leave the bank. One of the things that I'm concerned about is paying my tithes, my 10%. Now, we're Christians, and I think that's the first thing we're supposed to do. So we walk out with that kind of check, or how do you think we should do that?
No. Well, okay. You want to remain anonymous as much as possible. So you've got your trust set up. You talk to your attorney you've got on retainer that works for you and nobody else. And you say, John or Joe or Ben or whatever, or Betty Lou, I need you to go down to the church and talk to the priest or the pastor, because this is what I'm going to do. And say and the attorney's going to look at the priest and say, you want to talk about, well, I'm representing so-and-so trust, and they wish to pay your utilities every month for the rest of the church's life, or so many years, so that you stay anonymous. Because they don't need to know who you are. God does. That's all that matters. Remain anonymous.
Well, I was going to give it straight to the pastor, and I know that he's as good as an attorney. He wouldn't put my business out there, but
well,
I don't know if we're going to have structured payouts, and we pay the 10% by the payouts, and naturally, I think it's on our percentage and not for the humanitarian amount.
I go back to this. Money changes everybody, and to keep everybody honest,
oh, you're right.
Give him a stipend. Give him a stipend, him personally, but say, send the bills here. You'll pay everything. The mortgage, pay the mortgage off, but pay everything off. Take care of everything for as long as you want. But to give somebody that much control, if something is to happen and they have egg on their face, the last thing they want to do is stand before you, let alone God. And because then you're going to say, I thought you were, better than that. I don't want to go through that. So to relieve the temptation, a stipend and pay the bills.
Okay. That's a good answer. All right. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, then. Bye.
Oh, and did you know that I have a lot of guidance on here. I have, I think the other day, like 5 or 6 people in a row. Well, I'm a former preacher or pastor. I'm in the ministry. I'm like, oh my God can take a vacation, and I don't get to take a break. They're watching me left and right. What? I can't get away with anything. So, thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All right.
Bye.
Uh-oh. I think we're in for it now, Iko. It's that dude from Delaware. Got to, at least it's not Hartford, Connecticut, because you know how them shysters are up there. Wilmington, come on down, 302.
Hey, Jerry, it's shysters from Delaware, huh? Your suggestion about what you were going to do when you walked out the door. You were going to pick up the phone and call that one person that is going to start to make things happen for you. My question is, what did you tell that person to get them ready to be able to do things for you? Have you told them everything you're doing in currency and what's going on? How did you come up with that person?
No.
Please give me some guidance on how you did that.
I expressed to them what I wished, because we're all going to need. I didn't say how much currency I had. They know that I'm invested in this, but they don't know my amounts.
Okay.
And I said, I want to be first on the list because I am going to have substantial amount. I just told them substantial. I said, I want first choice for security, for attorneys, legal representation, cybersecurity, firms that if I hire somebody, and that's another thing. I am glad you brought that up because it gets my mind to whirling. When you hire somebody, you've got to vet them. They're going to vet my first round of people for me. They have companies and people that do that, and I want the name of those companies because every 6 months or once a year, everybody that works for me is going to get re-vetted again. And if I have a suspicion, maybe 6 months down the road. So I actually have been turned on to the company. I'm not going to say the name of it. It's out there on the internet. Is that phone call? They already know what I want. I've talked with them extensively. Been very adamant about the things that I want, and the reply is, I know these people, and they're well. What's the word I'm looking for? They've been in business and know a lot of people, because Iko knows who I'm talking about, and he will verify because he also has spoke with them. They're qualified. So that one phone call after I've spoke with them sets up everything of what I want.
So you've been able to get them to consider doing all that. The only thing you've told them is that I am working on something that will provide substantial amount of money, and I need to have some things put into place for my security in a number of different ways. And are you the person that I should call to get this up and running?
Correct. Iko, I see you wiggling there. I know you got something to say.
Well, yeah, I just want to reinforce. There's no rush to hire these people if your initial exchange is in some kind of trust account. Now, it could be a temporary account set up by the bank, by Wells Fargo, for example. It could be a trust that you have alerted. Like a lot of people did with the Masters Trust. They put down a deposit, which essentially gets them to the front of the line for service of the entire trust. But there's nothing that says you've got to make all these decisions the first week. As long as your money, as long as your assets are in some form of rudimentary protection, And then you can take your time. You know, you don't have to go out and buy that new house in the first few months, or you know, or buy the boat, or give any indication that your financial life has changed. You know, take your time. There will be plenty of referrals out there as people get into their post RV position. And you know, interview 3 or 4. What the heck? You know, it just, what you want to do is you do want to have all this stuff in place before you start spending money. That includes your humanitarian efforts too. You know, there's I mean, I don't want to sound negative, guys, but the con artists, the woodwork isn't dense enough to hold them all. It just, and I'm not saying that to put everybody in a position of fear. It's more to put them in a position of wisdom. We have time. That's the one thing that you get when you're wealthy, is you don't have to make a decision overnight. You can take your time. Don't panic about this. There are already financial advisor groups, management groups who are prepared for this, who have been prepared, principally by how shall I put it? Well, I'll just keep using Wells Fargo as an example, even though it's not Wells Fargo, it's some other entity out there, but people have been briefed. Yeah, exactly. That's one of them. And then there's a lot of Abbott Downings out there that you've never heard of, because they don't solicit clients,
right?
You know, they're through referral. But a lot of people are on board with this and understand what's about to happen, and they're prepared to help, you know, people with substantial wealth. And there will be others that will get up to speed real quick. I mean, the guy that I used to use for litigation and construction, you know, legal matters. I have no doubt that if I picked up the phone and said, "Hey, this is what's just happened. Here's a couple of places you can look for verification on it, and then do me a favor, you know, take a couple of weeks, get up to speed, and then call me back, and we'll have a meeting." They're very bright people, you know, and even though, and it's like being a navigator. Just because you've never navigated a boat to Lisbon, Spain, doesn't mean you can't navigate there. You've got the skill set. You just haven't been to that particular destination. This is the same thing with a lot of these qualified professional groups. They simply have to be. There's a new destination out there. They haven't been made aware of it, or they've only heard about it. Now they're going to have concrete evidence of it. And believe me, they will work 24/7 to get up to speed, because it's a whole new market for them. So
okay, let's.
If I may have one comment, Jerry. So I have my Masters Trust set up with my $500 started. I've got all that. I've got a bank account in the trust. So as soon as it happens, all the money goes into that. Now it's protected. And I would think that I could say I need a key contact at Abbott Downing, because I want to start a bunch of things, including security and taking care of things. And I would hope that Abbott Downing has been sort of sitting on the sideline saying, "We know this is coming. We better be prepared." So
I'm sure they have. No matter what the rhetoric they put out when people call them. Yeah. Alrighty, sir.
So if you call them and say,
you're in good shape. You're in better shape than most people in this venture. You know, you've got.
It's all because of your help and suggestions. You guys have said, "Do this, and here's what makes sense," and I followed that. So now, please do what you can do to get it funded.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Jerry.
You know, this is our buddy. We're in for it now, Wingman.
Oh, right. You don't even know what I'm going to talk about. Why don't you go shopping someplace, all right? How's that? Is that good? I go
Yeah.
shopping. Go buy those Chinese cheese straighteners or whatever the hell you're looking at the other day. How you
Now,
guys
actually,
right?
to tell the truth,
hold
you know
on
what I'm
just a
going to do?
second.
The first thing I'm going to do,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go buy the watch I always wanted. It's not a real
That-
expensive watch, but it's more than a few $100.
Solar?
So that's what. No. Just very waterproof and very easy to read at 3:00 in the morning. When you're out on the way.
You older guys need those large letters, right? Large numbers,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Hey, Wingman, when the call's over, I need you to give me a call. I have a question.
I got you. Okay.
All right, listen, I didn't call up to insult you guys. I called up because I was actually asleep. I took a nap. I had a terrible night last night, and I didn't get much sleep, so I took a nap, and I looked at the clock, and I just wanted to really just wave the hand at you guys. You know, I love you guys. I come to know you, and I just can't get enough. You know, I guess that's it. But
yeah, and you know, I'll keep.
Go ahead. What?
I'm looking at your phone number, and it's not the same one you called in on.
Yeah. I have a cell phone and I have a landline. This is a landline. When I'm home,
good.
I don't keep my cell phone. When I'm in my office, like the last time I was in my office, I get terrible reception with my landline, so I use my cell. You know, all that. For some reason, the cell works better. You would think.
All right.
The opposite.
Okay, sir.
All right. I just wanted to say.
A few more people.
Wait a minute. Just wait. I'm not. I just wanted to say. Sometimes I just that gentleman was what Iko was talking about before. Sometimes misery comes with your miracle. You know what I'm saying? We get trials and tribulations at every level. You know, and God allows us to do that because He wants us to have that responsibility because it brings the best out in us all. You know, it not only brings the best. You know, it's like you know, when you go to a different level, like they say, there's a new devil for every level, and that's true in a way because the responsibilities and trials that come along with it, you know, can be greater than, you know, that you've ever, something that you know you're not familiar with and becomes a burden. And you just got to seek. I just want to say you got to seek out God's wisdom and guidance and His knowledge, you know, and because we have a responsibility not only to others but to ourselves, you know, to handle this, to be, you know, being good steward also is not only, you know, planting a seed on fertile ground, but to, you know. You want to be able to get some of that money back. You know, this is planting, seed time, and harvest. You know, and you give to plant your money on good ground, you're going to get a good harvest. So, and it all has to do with knowing what to do during these trials and tribulations. And it's not always about money, but since that's what the call is about, I just figured I'd just mention that. So I just wanted to wave the hand, say hello. God bless. Until next time, folks. Happy trails.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
You got a few more minutes, Iko?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. We're going to try to wrap this up here in just a little bit. I know who this is, but I'm drawing a blank as to the voice. Selden 631, come on down.
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. How you doing today?
Excellent. How's that for positive thinking? I just have a couple of points or questions, I guess.
One. Hold on. One question, please. I just want to try to wrap it up and get a few more people in here. So one question, and we'll give you an answer and go on.
Okay. Well, you know, basically, a word that I miss a lot in these calls, no matter who's called, is the word principle. When you get money and you don't have a lot of retirement or no retirement, or even if you do have retirement, it may not be worth nothing in the coming years, you've got to prepare for the fact that you have a lump sum of money that is always going to produce.
We've talked about that.
Some interest and survive you, and you can't go around saving everybody until you save yourself. It's like a light worker can't light the world till he's got himself together.
Right.
And
we've talked about that.
Well, yeah, but the sim business is ridiculous because it's gone. It can go from it's worthless to 10 cents to $50,000, and that's all we talk about. We don't talk about the dong that's fell off the earth. The rupiah fell off the earth.
Hold on. Yes, I understand. We've talked about that, but let me get on to another caller here. But I want to thank you for calling in. Okay.
Or does it make sense? It makes sense.
It does.
Makes perfect sense. Yes, it does. It absolutely
Thank you, sir.
does.
Oh, Birmingham. I'm sorry. Birmingham, 205.
Hello, Jerry. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm fine. I had a conversation with an associate in another state, and he expressed that as a part of a private group, I'm going to say Admiral or something like that, that he has been told he's going to have a trust and it's already set up, and all he's done at this point is accept what they've said. And I asked a question, and that is, have you made a completed transfer, a completed gift into the trust of your basically worth very little currency at this point? And the answer was no. I'm thinking a lot of people are going to be in for a real rude awakening out there when this RV does occur, because, I'll give you an example. Very high-powered estate planning firm in town, and by the way, I'm a CPA from, earned my certificate back in '69, so I've done a lot of tax work over the years. But within the last year or so, there was a high-powered estate planning firm in town, a law firm, and they put together a trust, an irrevocable trust, and they wanted to take advantage of the grantor's use of the $5 million, I'm using the word just $5 million for the time being, roughly $5 million worth of lifetime exemption for gifts and estate to avoid taxes as a gift or as an estate. So he made a transfer, a completed gift as the grantor into an irrevocable trust, and used most of the $5 million lifetime exemption and avoided all gift tax, and of course it's out of his estate at the same time. I think a lot of people that have currencies out there, whether it's a single IQD, 25K IQD, or 100T notes for Zim, I think a lot of people may have just one, and they're going to get less than $5 million, but they're going to be richer than they've ever been in their life. That's fine. But there are others that are going to have way more, tens of millions, hundreds of millions, based on the high numbers of people keep throwing out there. And those people that have an end value of more than the lifetime exemption, and they start to set up an irrevocable trust and transfer the currency in for protection or whatever they're being told to do, if they transfer that in, unless there's something about timing that I can't imagine, meaning the real world international market value is hidden until after they make the transfer in, which I can't really see how that's going to work. But if they transfer it in after everybody in the world knows what the international or market rate is, they're going to be in for a rude awakening, because they're going to use up that $5 million exemption. And when they start, right now it's currently $5,450,000. It may go up a little bit next year because of inflation adjustments. But let's just say roughly $5,450,000. If they have more than that and they go into the trust next year and they make a completed gift at that time and the value on the open market is $10 million, my opinion is they're going to be in for a rude awakening under most irrevocable trust situations, and end up paying 40 cents on the dollar of the excess over the $5,450,000. And
okay. So
go ahead.
No, I understand where you can have you, and I want to try to wrap this up pretty quick. Have you looked at the Master's Trust, because it's a non-grantor type of irrevocable trust, which
I'm
makes
sorry.
it different.
I meant non-grantor. I didn't mean grantor. In other words, I'm talking about a revocable trust that is not like a revocable living trust, not a grantor trust. I meant non-grantor. I misstated that. So it's a non-grantor revocable trust.
Right.
And that's where my concern is. And the gift tax on the one that I was telling you about, there was the gift tax return was prepared, signed off totally by the law firm, and filed with the IRS showing the roughly less than $5 million transfer. But I'm just concerned a lot of people are going to have a lot of money, and then they start to putting in these trusts, and they're going to end up with a real surprise unless there's some timing difference that we don't know about. That's my concern. And I do already have my trust, and it's not the master's trust. I've had my trust set up since 2013. So that's everything's cared for there, and I've got individual accounts for various currencies. Tried to do everything I could based on what I've heard over the years. We've been in it 6 years, and we're tired like you are. But I just wanted to express my concern that some people are not being told the whole story. That is, are you going to expect less than the lifetime exemption? Fine.
Well, see, I know, but that's where they're going to have to seek some legal counsel, and we're right there in that very gray area that I don't want to go too much farther, if you understand.
Well, that's why I tell people, and I told the gentleman I was talking to, I said, look, I disagree with your thinking because I think you're going to potentially put yourself in real jeopardy tax-wise because he's going to have a whole bunch more than $5,450,000. And I said, you need to talk to your tax man and see what he tells you. Don't take my word for it. See what your tax man or your attorney tells you.
A tax attorney, because that.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, that was a good example of just one issue that people are going to run into. If they think this is a 20-minute exchange meeting and they're going to walk away, they got to think again. This is a complex financial transaction.
All right. What we're going to do here is the last caller of the day. Don't even know who it is. Oakland, 510. Come on down.
Hi there, Jerry. Real quick,
Yeah.
if I have an agreement with Master's Trust and the down payment, I have created my account. But when I set up the account, they asked me, did I want interest bearing or non-interest bearing?
It doesn't matter because it's a trust account.
Okay. Is it safer just to get started and put non-interest bearing, and then I could change it once I feel secure?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's what I did. I just wanted to run it by you. Thank you, and thanks, Iko and Bart and everybody. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Well, there we are for the day. Well, I hope we could talk for hours, but I have some things that I have to do, and it's in the middle of the day, and I hope everybody enjoyed the little tidbits we're able to bring to you. Another day of Redneck Radio with some substance. Darn it. I'll try to fix that on the next call if we have one. Iko, what are those wonderful words for the day? If you have a summation, give it, and then send us home.
Well, I got something to share real quick. And people who are from New England, grew up in New England, are there now, know what I'm talking about. In the autumn, after the leaves have fallen, there's a certain smell of the soil. And I can't describe it. I don't have the words for it, but it's like people who know that smell of earth and damp leaves, will identify with it. And whenever I get a whiff of that, it brings me back to being 14 and not a care in the world.
Uh-oh.
That's it. Just came to my head.
All right.
So With that, I will say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you very much.
The conference is now completed. Goodbye. Welcome.